The strange lights appeared over the city on a quiet Tuesday evening. Nobody paid much attention at first, thinking they were just planes or some new weather phenomenon, but Kate Miller knew better. She stood on her apartment balcony watching the lights move in impossible patterns too fast. Too precise. Kate had worked at the Space Research Center for 8 years now. She recognized that these were not anything made on Earth. She grabbed her phone and called her boss. "They finally came," she said, her voice shaking with excitement. "We need to prepare a welcome." Her boss laughed on the other end of the line. "Kate, not this alien theory again. Go to sleep. You work too much." Kate hung up. Frustrated. Nobody believed her. Nobody ever did. She went back inside and packed a small bag, just essentials: clothes, water, some food, and her notebook. She had a feeling she would need to document what was about to happen. The lights grew brighter over the next hour, hovering directly over downtown. Now people were noticing traffic stopped. Crowds gathered in streets and parks pointing upward. News helicopters circled at a safe distance. Kate drove toward downtown, her heart racing. She had studied possible first contact scenarios for years, had written papers that her colleagues dismissed. She knew the protocols even if nobody would implement them officially. A massive ship emerged from the clouds. It was unlike anything humans had designed, smooth with no visible engines or windows. It glowed with a soft blue light and made no sound as it descended. By the time Kate reached downtown, the military had arrived, setting up blockades. People were being evacuated, but many refused to leave, standing in awe of the ship, now suspended about 500 feet above the city center. Kate showed her research center ID to pass through the blockade. She recognized some government officials huddled with military personnel near a command vehicle. They were arguing about how to respond. The decision was made for them. A beam of light shot down from the ship, touching the ground in the central plaza. The light expanded, forming a perfect circle about 30 feet across. Within the circle, the air shimmered, and then they appeared. 3 figures materialized in the circle of light. They stood nearly 7 feet tall with slender bodies. Their skin was pale blue with swirling patterns. Their large eyes were entirely silver without pupils. They had 4 arms, each moving with elegant precision. They wore flowing garments that seemed to shift colors in the light. Humans gasped. Some screamed. Others took photos and videos. The military raised their weapons. "No," Kate shouted, pushing forward. "Don't shoot." One of the aliens turned toward her. Their eyes met. Kate felt a strange sensation in her mind, like gentle fingers sorting through her thoughts. The alien stepped forward, raising all 4 hands in what appeared to be a gesture of peace. The other aliens remained still. Kate stepped closer, ignoring the shouts from the military to stay back. She raised her hands, mirroring the alien's gesture. The alien spoke, its voice melodic and strange, yet somehow understandable. "We come in peace. We are the Viridians. We wish to learn." Kate swallowed hard, finding her voice. "We welcome you to Earth. My name is Kate." The alien tilted her head, studying Kate. "I am Zira, lead explorer. We have watched your world for some time. We believe exchange of knowledge would benefit both our peoples." The military and government officials pushed forward, now surrounding Kate and the aliens. Weapons remained pointed at the visitors. Kate turned to them. "Please lower your weapons. These are peaceful visitors." General frowned. "This is now a military matter. Miss, step aside." Zira spoke again, addressing the humans around them. "We understand your caution. We came not to conquer but to connect." Another alien stepped forward. She carried what looked like a small orb. She held it out, and the orb floated into the air, projecting images all around. Them images of the Viridians' home planet, of their civilization, of their achievements. "We are all female," the alien explained. "Our species evolved differently from yours. We have abilities you might consider unusual. We wish to learn if humans, particularly human females, share any of these traits." The general looked suspicious. "What abilities?" In response, the third alien raised one hand. A nearby military jeep rose 6 feet off the ground with no visible means of support. It floated there perfectly stable. The soldiers gasped. Stepping back telekinesis, Kate whispered, amazed. The alien lowered her hand and the jeep settled gently back to the ground. We have other abilities as well, Zira said. We can share them. Teach them. Perhaps. The government officials conferred frantically. The general still looked suspicious, but Kate saw the opportunity of a lifetime. Let me work with them, she said to the officials. I study xenobiology potential alien contact scenarios. This is my field. After much debate, it was agreed a temporary research center would be established nearby. Kate would lead a team of scientists to interact with the Viridians. The military would maintain security, but would not interfere unless threatened. Within days, the research center was operational. The Viridians brought more of their kind down from their ship, all female, all with the same telekinetic abilities. They were curious about humans especially. Human females. Kate worked closely with Zira. Learning about the Viridian civilization, they were ancient, thousands of years more advanced than humans. They had mastered space travel, clean energy, and had eliminated disease and hunger on their world. But they were fascinated by humans, particularly human hands. Your manual dexterity is remarkable, Zira told Kate one day watching her type notes on a computer. Your fingers can perform such precise movements. We never developed such abilities. Kate looked up surprised. Why not? Zira demonstrated by lifting a pencil with her mind spinning it in complex patterns. We developed our mental abilities early in our evolution. We can manipulate objects without touch with great precision. We never needed the fine motor control. You have. Kate watched amazed. The Viridians could move objects telekinetically, with incredible accuracy. But when they tried to use their hands for delicate tasks, they were clumsy. Their fingers, longer with one less joint than human fingers, lacked the dexterity humans took for granted. Over the following weeks, more Viridians arrived. Their ship remained hovering above the city. More research centers were established around the world. Human scientists flocked to study the visitors. Human leaders debated how to respond to their presence. Some were fearful, suspicious of the aliens' true motives. Others saw the opportunity for advancement to learn from a more advanced civilization. Kate found herself becoming the primary human liaison with the Viridians. She learned their language, studied their culture. Their society was built on cooperation and scientific advancement. They had no concept of war. Though they understood human history of conflict, Zira invited Kate aboard their ship. A great honor, she was told. The first human to see inside a Viridian vessel. Kate was nervous as the beam of light transported her up. She materialized in a vast chamber. The walls seemed alive, shifting with colors and patterns. Viridians moved about their forearms, manipulating invisible controls. Objects floated through the air, moved by telekinesis alone. This is our central command, Kate Zira explained. Our ship is alive in a way grown, not built. It responds to our thoughts. Kate stared in wonder. The technology was beyond anything humans had imagined. Why did you choose Earth? She asked finally. There must be many worlds, many species in the galaxy. Zira led her to what appeared to be a viewing chamber. A window opened, showing Earth below, beautiful blue and green against the blackness of space. We detected something unusual in your species, Zira said. Something we have seen in no other world we visited. Your adaptability, your creativity. The way you use your hands to create, to build. Despite having no telekinetic abilities, you achieved space flight, developed complex technologies, all using those simple appendages. She gestured to Kate's hands. We believe there may be potential in humans. Zira continued, especially human females, for developing abilities similar to ours. And we believe we could learn from you how to create as you do, using physical manipulation, not just mental. Kate felt overwhelmed by the implications. The exchange of knowledge between humans and Viridians could advance human civilization by centuries. As Kate looked back at Earth below, she realized everything was about to change forever. The question was whether humanity was ready for such change and whether Kate herself was ready to lead the way. 3 months after the Viridians arrived, the world had changed in ways nobody could have predicted. The initial fear gave way to curiosity, then to cooperation. Exchange centers were established in major cities around the globe, places where Viridians and humans could learn from each other. Share knowledge. Kate Miller had become the face of human-Viridian relations. Her work with Zira led to breakthroughs in understanding between the species. She traveled between exchange centers helping establish protocols and programs. The Portland Exchange Center was the busiest on the West Coast. Kate arrived there on a rainy morning to find a line of humans, mostly women, waiting outside. They had come to learn telekinesis, the ability that had fascinated humanity since the Viridians demonstrated it. Kate entered through a side door, nodding to the security team. The main hall was divided into sections. In one area, Viridians taught human women meditation techniques designed to awaken latent mental abilities. In another, human instructors taught Viridians fine motor skills from typing to sewing, to playing musical instruments. Susan Lee, the center director, greeted Kate with a smile. "Welcome back. How was Washington?" Kate sighed. "Politicians are still debating whether to allow Viridian technology transfers. They fear giving up military advantages." Susan nodded, understanding. The Viridians had offered to share clean energy technology, medical advances, space travel capabilities, but governments remained cautious, unwilling to share their own military secrets in return. The Viridians find the concept of weapons development strange. Susan said, "They asked me yesterday why humans put so much effort into creating things that destroy rather than create." "They never had wars," Kate reminded her. "Never needed to defend themselves from predators. Their evolution was completely different." A commotion from the telekinesis training area drew their attention. Kate and Susan hurried over. A group of Viridians surrounded a human woman named Laura. She was a regular at the center. Had been training with the Viridians for weeks now. Laura sat with her eyes closed, concentrating on a small wooden block on the table before her. The block trembled slightly, then rose half an inch off the surface. It hovered there shakily for a few seconds before dropping. The Viridians trilled with excitement, their musical language filling the room. "It happened again," Susan whispered to Kate. "Third time this week. Different. Women all showing early signs of telekinetic ability." Kate watched amazed. It was happening just as Zira had predicted. Some human females were developing abilities similar to the Viridians. After months of training, meditation, specific mental exercises, the potential was emerging. Laura opened her eyes, looked exhausted but thrilled. "It feels like using a muscle I never knew I had," she explained to Kate. "It's there but so weak I can barely control it." The Viridian instructor. Nala placed a gentle four-fingered hand on Laura's shoulder. "You progress quickly. For Viridian children, it takes years to move." First object. Kate made notes on her tablet, documenting everything. She would report this to Zira later. The implications were enormous. If humans, particularly women, could develop telekinesis even at a basic level, it would transform human society. In another section of the center, Kate observed Viridians learning manual skills. They sat at tables, their forearms moving carefully, as human instructors guided them. The aliens struggled with tasks humans found simple: buttoning clothes, tying knots, writing with pens. Their fingers lacked the dexterity, the precision that human fingers had, yet they were learning. Their determination was impressive. A young Viridian named Mila showed Kate a small clay sculpture she had made. The figure was crude by human standards but represented a huge achievement for Viridian hands. "I made without telekinesis," Mila said proudly. "Only hands." She held up all four hands, wiggling her long fingers. Kate smiled, genuinely impressed. "That's amazing, Mila. How does it feel to create something with your hands instead of your mind?" Mila considered the question. "It feels more connected, to feel the clay change shape beneath fingers. Telekinesis is precise but distant. This is intimate." Kate nodded. understanding. The exchange was working, both species learning from each other, gaining new perspectives, new abilities. Later that day, Kate met with the research team human scientists who studied the Viridians. Their findings were promising. The telekinetic abilities seemed to involve parts of the human brain that were typically dormant. Brain scans of women who showed telekinetic potential revealed increased activity in these regions. The question is whether it's latent in all humans or just some, said Dr. Martinez, showing Kate the latest scans, and why predominantly in women. Kate studied the data. The Viridians had theories. Their own abilities were linked to specific genetic markers, present in all Viridian females. Similar markers existed in some human women but were dormant, had been for thousands of years. Something activated these abilities in our ancient past. Zira had explained to Kate. Some environmental factor perhaps, or deliberate genetic modification by our ancestors. The possibility that humans and Viridians shared some ancient connection was still being investigated. The implications were profound. Kate left the research lab and headed to her temporary apartment near the center. She needed to prepare for a video conference with government officials. They wanted updates on the technology exchanges, specifically the clean energy systems the Viridians had offered to share. Her apartment felt empty after the busy energy of the exchange center. Kate missed her home in Boston, but her work required constant travel. She kicked off her shoes and made tea while reviewing her notes. A soft chime indicated an incoming call. Kate expected it to be Zira, but instead found herself looking at the serious face of General Ward, the military liaison to the Viridian exchange programs. "Miller, we have a situation," the general said, without preamble. "We've detected another ship entering Earth's atmosphere." Not Viridian. Design. Kate's heart raced. What, where? Approaching the Pacific, heading toward the west coast. Larger than the Viridian vessels. The Viridians seem concerned. Their ship has changed position, moved to intercept. Have they communicated? Kate asked. Has either ship made contact? The general shook his head. Nothing yet. The Viridians requested your presence immediately at their command ship. Zira specifically asked for you. They're sending transport to your location in 15 minutes. Kate immediately began gathering her things. Her mind raced with possibilities. Another alien species could be friendly like the Viridians or not. The Viridians had never mentioned other spacefaring races, though Kate had asked. The topic seemed to make them uncomfortable. The familiar beam of light appeared on her balcony, right on schedule. Kate stepped into it, feeling the now familiar tingling sensation. As she was transported up to the Viridian ship, Zira waited for her. The usually calm alien showed signs of agitation, her skin patterns swirling rapidly, her movements quick and jerky. "Kate, they have come," she said without greeting. "Who?" Kate asked. "Who has come?" "The Meridians." Zira replied, "Our genetic cousins. Once we were one species. Now we are divided." They developed differently. Their society. Their values. Kate felt a chill. Are they dangerous? Zira hesitated. Not directly. They do not wage war as humans understand it, but they are manipulative. They believe in genetic superiority, the strong dominating the weak. They see other species as resources, not equals. The ship hummed around them as it moved through the atmosphere. Kate could feel the tension among the Viridians. Their usual calm efficiency replaced with urgent activity. "Why are they here?" Kate asked. "They detected our presence," Zira explained. "They always follow us when we find worlds of interest. They come to see what we have discovered." She turned her silver eyes to Kate. "They will be particularly interested in humans, in the abilities some of your females are developing." Kate understood the implication. The emerging telekinetic abilities in human women would attract attention, could make Earth a target. "What do we do?" she asked. Zira led Kate to the command center where a large viewing screen showed another ship approaching. It was darker than the Viridian vessels, angular with red lights pulsing along its hull. "We must prepare," Zira said. "Both Viridians and humans together. We must show unity strength. The Meridians respect only power. They must see that Earth is not for taking. Kate watched the approaching ship with growing unease. Everything was about to change again, and this time it might not be for the better. The first contact with the Viridians had been peaceful. This second contact felt different. Dangerous Kate could only hope that the bonds formed between humans and Viridians over the past months would be strong enough for whatever came next. The Meridian ship hovered opposite the Viridian vessel. Kate stood beside Zira in the command center, watching as communications were established. A large screen flickered to life, showing the interior of the other ship. The Meridians looked similar to Viridians with some key differences. Their skin was darker purple rather than blue. Their eyes were golden instead of silver. And all those visible on screen were male. The lead Meridian spoke, his voice deeper than the musical tones of the Viridians. "Greetings, cousins. We see you have found an interesting world." Zira stepped forward, her forearms in a formal position. "This world is under Viridian protection. The humans are our allies, not subjects." The Meridian leader smiled, revealing teeth that seemed sharper than the Viridians. "Of course, we merely wish to observe, to learn as you do. Perhaps establish our own cultural exchange." Kate felt Zira's tension through the slight change in her posture. The two species clearly had a complex history. "Humans will determine if they wish contact with your people." Zira responded diplomatically. "We cannot and will not speak for them." The Meridian leader turned his golden eyes to Kate. "So this is a human female. How fascinating. They appear so fragile, yet I sense potential." He leaned closer to the screen. "You have begun the awakening process with them, haven't you?" Cousins Kate spoke up before Zira could answer. "I'm Kate Miller, Earth representative to the Viridians. The exchange program is beneficial to both our species. Any contact with yours would need approval from Earth governments." The Meridian seemed amused by her directness. "Bold for such a primitive species. I am Vex, prime leader of this exploration vessel. We would be honored to meet with your Earth leaders." To demonstrate our own unique abilities, Zira intervened. "We will arrange proper diplomatic channels. This conversation is premature." Vex nodded with exaggerated courtesy. "As you wish, cousin. We will maintain position and await invitation." He made a gesture and the screen went dark. Kate turned to Zira. "You don't trust them?" Zira's skin pattern swirled with concern. "The Meridians and Viridians evolved on the same world. But our paths diverged thousands of years ago. They developed aggression, dominance, hierarchy. We developed cooperation, community. They see other species as resources or potential servants. Will they attack?" Kate asked. "Not directly." Zira explained. "They prefer manipulation, deception. They offer gifts with hidden costs. They seek genetic superiority, absorbing traits from species they encounter. They will be very interested in humans, especially those showing telekinetic potential." Kate understood the implication. Humans, especially the women developing abilities, would be targets. The Meridians would want to study them, perhaps exploit them. "We need to warn the exchange centers." Kate said, "The research facilities." Zira agreed. The Viridian ship moved quickly, returning to its position above the city. Kate was transported back to Earth, where emergency meetings were already being called. World leaders, governments, military officials, scientists all gathered virtually to discuss the new arrival. Kate and Zira presented what they knew about the Meridians, their capabilities, their history, their potential motives. Some humans, particularly military leaders, saw opportunity. The Meridians might offer different technologies, different advantages, perhaps even play the two alien species against each other for human benefit. Kate argued against this approach. "The Viridians have been transparent, honest in their dealings with us. They seek mutual benefit. The Meridians, according to everything we know, are manipulative, self-serving. Their offers will come with hidden costs." Debate continued for hours. Finally, it was decided a small delegation would meet with the Meridians, diplomatic but cautious. Limited engagement until their intentions could be verified. Kate was named to the delegation along with diplomatic and military representatives. The meeting was set for the following day at a neutral location. a military base outside the city. That night, Kate couldn't sleep. She paced her apartment going over everything Zira had told her about the Meridians. They were technologically advanced like the Viridians, but their society was hierarchical, competitive. The males dominated using enhanced telekinetic abilities to maintain control. The Viridians had fled their shared homeworld millennia ago, seeking peaceful existence among the stars. The Meridians had followed, expanding their influence, claiming territories. Morning came too quickly. Kate dressed carefully, choosing professional attire that conveyed authority. A car arrived to take her to the military base where the meeting would be held. The base was on high alert, security everywhere. The Meridian ship had moved during the night, positioning itself directly above the meeting location. A deliberate show of power, a beam of red light similar to the Viridian's transport system, delivered the Meridian delegation. Vex led them, tall and imposing. 4 other Meridians accompanied him, all male, all with the same purple skin and golden eyes. They wore what appeared to be ceremonial armor, sleek and metallic, with glowing symbols. Human delegation waited. Formal introductions were made. Kate watched the Meridians carefully, the way they moved, the subtle demonstrations of their telekinetic abilities, lifting objects, moving things without touch. Shows of power. Vex addressed the humans directly. We offer friendship, alliance, exchange of knowledge, technologies, advancement. We have much to share with promising species. His golden eyes lingered on the human women in the delegation. Kate felt a strange pressure in her mind, as if something were pressing against her thoughts. She remembered Zira's warning. The Meridians had stronger, more aggressive telekinetic abilities, including mind reading, mind influence. Kate focused on mental barriers, techniques Zira had taught her to protect against unwanted telepathic contact. The pressure subsided. Vex's expression showed surprise. Perhaps respect. We already have an exchange program with the Viridians. General Ward stated, what different benefits would alliance with your people bring? Vex smiled. The Viridians are scientists, observers. They offer knowledge, yes, but limited by their caution, their fear of rapid advancement. We Meridians embrace progress power. We could help humans, particularly your females, develop abilities beyond what our cousins teach, accelerated evolution. Several human delegates looked intrigued. Kate spoke up. What would you want in return? No advanced species offers such benefits without expecting something in exchange. Vex turned his golden gaze to her. Smart human. Nothing significant. A small research facility, access to human genetic samples, particularly from females showing telekinetic potential, permission to observe your development. Kate felt cold. Inside, she knew what that really meant. They wanted test subjects, human women, to experiment on, to extract whatever genetic markers controlled telekinetic potential. The meeting continued. Vex outlining proposed exchanges, technological offerings, medical advancements. The human delegates asked questions, some skeptical, others eager. Kate remained silent, observing. When the meeting ended, the Meridians returned to their ship. The human delegation dispersed to report back to their respective governments. Kate remained behind, with General Ward. They want our women, he said bluntly. Not all of them. Just the special ones, the ones who can do what they do. Kate nodded. They want the genetic material, the potential. They see humans as resources, not partners, not like the Viridians. General sighed. The problem is some of our leaders see opportunity here. Better weapons, advanced technology. The Meridians are offering things the Viridians won't share. Military applications. Kate felt frustration rising. Can't they see the danger? The Meridians would give weapons technology. Yes, but at what cost? And what happens when they get what they want from us? I need to consult with Zira. Kate said, we need more information about what the Meridians are really capable of, what their true intentions might be. The general agreed. Kate was transported back to the Viridian ship where Zira waited anxiously. Kate reported everything from the meeting, the offers, the requests. The subtle mental probing. It is as we feared. Zira said, they sense the potential in human females, the genetic compatibility with their own abilities. They will seek to harvest this harvest. Kate repeated, feeling Zera's expression was grim. They would take women with potential, study them, extract genetic material, perhaps even breed with them to create hybrids with enhanced abilities. It is what they have done on other worlds. Kate felt a surge of protective anger. No, that will not happen. Not to women on my world. Even as she spoke, alarms sounded throughout the Viridian. Ship Zera rushed to the command center. Kate, following the Meridian ship, has launched smaller vessels, Zera explained. They move toward your exchange centers, where the humans with telekinetic potential. Kate watched in horror as the screen showed several small craft descending toward different cities, where women had shown telekinetic abilities. They were moving to take what they wanted, not waiting for permission. We need to stop them, Kate said urgently. Can you intercept? Zera was already directing. Her crew, the Viridian ship, moved rapidly, smaller defensive vessels launching. But Kate knew they might not reach all targets in time. They needed another solution, and fast, before the first human women with telekinetic gifts became the first human. Victims of alien abduction. Chaos erupted as the Meridian vessels descended toward Earth, each targeting an exchange center where human women had shown telekinetic potential. Kate watched from the Viridian command ship, her heart racing. We need to warn them, she told Zera. Send messages to all centers. Evacuate the women. Zera was already coordinating with her crew. The Viridians moved with urgent precision, but Kate knew it might not be enough. The Meridian ships were fast, their technology advanced. Kate made a decision. Need to go back down to the Portland Center, it's closest to us. Several women there have shown abilities, they'll be targets. Zera hesitated, concerned for Kate's safety, but agreed. There was no time to argue. The transport beam activated, sending Kate directly to the Portland Exchange Center. She materialized in the main hall, finding it already in disarray. Alarms blaring, people rushing toward exits. Kate spotted Susan Lee, the center director, trying to maintain order. Susan, Kate called, pushing through the crowd. We need to get everyone out, especially Laura and the others who showed abilities. The Meridians are coming for them. Susan's eyes widened with understanding. She nodded, pointing toward a side room. They're in the practice chamber. All 5 of them. Kate rushed toward the chamber, finding Laura and 4 other women inside. They had been in the middle of a training session, unaware of the danger, until the alarm sounded. We need to leave now. Kate told them, the Meridians are targeting women with telekinetic abilities. They want to take you study. The women looked frightened, confused, but followed Kate toward a rear exit. The building shook suddenly, dust falling from the ceiling. The distinctive sound of a ship landing on the roof there. Already here, Susan gasped. Kate made a quick decision. We can't go outside. They'll be waiting. We need somewhere to hide. Somewhere that might block their scanning technology. The basement, Susan suggested. We have the old research lab down there. Lead shielding was installed years ago. For the previous experiments, it was their best option. Kate led the group toward the basement stairs. As they descended, the lights flickered, then went out. Emergency lighting came on, casting everything in dim red glow. Reached the basement laboratory, an old facility with thick walls, heavy equipment. Kate could hear commotion from upstairs. Shouts, crashes. The sounds of the Meridians entering the building, searching. Laura stepped forward, her face determined in the red light. We can fight back. We have abilities now. Not strong, but something. The other women nodded. Kate considered the possibility. The 5 women had only basic telekinetic skills, could move small objects, short distances with great effort. But together, perhaps they could do more. Susan accessed the emergency communications system using her security clearance, a direct line to the military command. Other exchange centers were under attack as well. Meridian ships had landed in Boston, Chicago, London, Beijing, all targeting facilities where women had demonstrated telekinetic abilities. Kate contacted Zera through her communication device. The Viridians were engaging Meridian vessels in the atmosphere, trying to prevent more from landing. But they were outnumbered. The Meridians had come prepared. We need to hold out, Kate told the group. Help is coming, but it will take time. We need to defend ourselves. Laura and the others gathered in a circle. Kate watched as they linked hands, their faces showing. Concentration, focus. They had been training together for weeks now, learning to combine their abilities, strengthen each other. The laboratory door shuddered. Something heavy slammed against it again. The metal began to dent inward. The women closed their eyes, concentrating harder. Kate could almost feel the energy building in the room, a pressure in her mind. Her ears popped. The door exploded inward. 3 Meridians stood in the opening, their purple skin dark in the red emergency lighting, their golden eyes glowing, their hands raised ready to use their own telekinetic abilities. Now, Laura shouted. The 5 women released their combined power. Kate felt it like a physical wave passing through her. The Meridians were thrown backward against the far wall with tremendous force. Their bodies crumpled to the floor, but the effort had clearly exhausted the women. They sagged, some dropping to their knees, breathing hard. More Meridians would come. They needed a better plan. Kate examined the fallen aliens, their armor, their weapons. She noticed small devices attached to their wrists, communication tools perhaps, or scanners. She removed one, strapping it to her own wrist. It activated, responding to her touch. Symbols appeared, projections in the air. Kate couldn't read them, but she recognized a map, the layout of the building with moving dots, Meridian soldiers. Their positions, we can see them, Kate realized. We can track them. Laura recovered, first stepping forward to look at the projection. That looks like a tactical display, she said. She had military background, Kate remembered. They show where their people are. What if we could use it to coordinate? Hide, ambush. It was risky. But what choice did they have? Kate used the communication device to update. The Viridians were still engaging Meridian ships. Military forces were being deployed to the exchange centers, but would take time to arrive. Suddenly, Susan spoke up. The old project, she said, the one this lab was built for, amplification. Kate turned. What do you mean? Susan moved to a storage locker, unlocking it with her security code. Inside was what looked like a helmet with wires and components. Experimental technology never approved for use. It was designed to amplify brainwaves, she explained, for medical purposes, helping coma patients. But the side effects were too dangerous. The project was abandoned, Laura understood immediately. It could amplify our telekinesis. It might kill you, Susan warned. The human brain isn't designed for that kind of power. The building shook again. Dust fell from the ceiling. More Meridians were entering, searching floor by floor. They would reach the basement soon. We have no choice, Laura said. She looked at the other women, who nodded in agreement. Susan reluctantly set up the equipment connecting the helmet to power sources. The women would take turns, each focusing their ability through the device. Kate watched the tactical display. More Meridians converging on their location. At least 12 approaching the basement. The fallen ones hadn't reported in had been discovered missing. Laura went first, putting on the helmet. Susan activated the system. Laura gasped, her body going rigid. Her eyes rolled back, then focused with new intensity. She raised her hand. The entire building rumbled. Objects throughout the lab rose into the air, floating, then were thrown with tremendous force upward through the ceiling, creating a massive hole leading up through multiple floors. Laura collapsed when Susan deactivated the helmet, her nose bleeding. But she was conscious, alive. The other women helped her up. Kate looked through the hole, seeing the sky above. Several floors had been breached. The Meridians on the upper levels had been caught in the telekinetic blast. Some lay motionless. Others were regrouping. Another woman stepped forward, taking the helmet. I can do this, she said. Her name was Maya, a doctor who had shown strong telekinetic potential. Susan hesitated, then activated the system. Again, the surge of power. Maya directed it differently, her focus more precise. She targeted the approaching Meridians directly. Kate could see on the tactical display as dots representing Meridian soldiers suddenly moved violently, then stopped moving altogether. Maya released. the power falling into Laura's arms weak but conscious. 3 more Meridians appeared at the laboratory entrance. These were larger, clearly leaders. Their armor more elaborate. They raised their hands in unison. Kate felt pressure crushing pain. They were attacking with their own telekinetic abilities far stronger than the humans could produce. Without amplification. The third woman. Diane grabbed the helmet, ignoring Susan's warning. Susan had no time to properly connect it. Diane placed it on her, had activated it herself. The power surge was immediate visible. Diane's body glowed with energy. The Meridians faltered their attack, broken. Diane focused on them, her power raw, untrained but immense. The Meridians were lifted off the ground, thrown against wall, ceiling, floor. Their armor cracking under the pressure. Their bodies going limp, but the uncontrolled power was too much. The helmet overloaded, circuits exploding. Diane collapsed. Susan rushed to her, checking vitals. She was alive, but unconscious. The tactical display showed more Meridians retreating, falling back to their ships. The demonstration of power had shocked them. Perhaps they had not expected such resistance from what they considered a primitive species. Kate received communication from Zira. The Viridians had managed to disable several Meridian vessels. Military forces were arriving at the exchange centers. The immediate threat was being contained. But Kate knew this was just the beginning. The Meridians would not give up so easily, would return with greater forces better prepared. What happened here today changed everything. Human women had demonstrated telekinetic abilities powerful enough to defeat Meridian warriors. The potential Zira had suspected was real, and more dangerous than anyone had imagined. Kate looked at the women who had fought, who had defended themselves, their world. Laura was helping Diane regain consciousness. Maya was using her medical training to treat injuries. Susan was securing the laboratory. These women, ordinary humans, just months ago had faced an alien threat and won through courage, determination, and abilities that were only beginning to develop. The Meridians had come to harvest, to take what they considered their rightful prize. But they had not expected resistance, had not expected humans to fight back with their own weapons, their own abilities. 1 month after the Meridian attack, Earth had transformed. Military forces surrounded exchange centers. Governments declared states of emergency. The Meridian ship remained in orbit, joined by others of their fleet. A tense standoff with the Viridian vessels. The Portland Center had become a fortress. Kate spent most of her time there working with Laura, Maya, and the other women who had demonstrated telekinetic abilities. Their training had intensified, supervised by Viridian instructors and human scientists. Kate observed a training session from behind protective glass. Laura stood in the center of a reinforced chamber, her eyes closed in concentration. Objects of increasing size and weight floated around her, metal spheres, concrete blocks, even a small car suspended in the air. She moved them in complex patterns, never touching them. The other women practiced nearby, each developing her own techniques. Diane had recovered from the amplifier incident. Her abilities had actually increased, afterward, as if the experience had permanently enhanced her neural pathways. Dr. Chen, the lead scientist, made notes beside Kate. "Remarkable progress," he said. "Their abilities grow stronger each day. The neural scans show new connections forming brain. Activity patterns similar to the Viridians, but with human variations." Kate nodded, watching Laura gently lower the objects back to the floor, looking barely tired. The difference from just a month ago was extraordinary. Then she could barely lift a pencil, now a car. "How many have shown abilities now?" Kate asked. "Worldwide." Dr. Chen consulted his tablet. 712 confirmed cases. All female, ranging in age from 16 to 5,400, are now in training programs, Kate processed. The numbers growing, but still a small fraction of the human population. Less than 1 in a million women showed telekinetic potential. So far, the Meridians have made another request for diplomatic talks, Dr. Chen added. They claim to have new proposals. Kate frowned. The Meridians had retreated after the initial attack. Regrouped. But they hadn't left. Their ships maintained position in orbit. Their leaders sent messages requesting negotiations, offering technology knowledge assistance in developing human potential. No one trusted their offers, but ignoring them wasn't an option. Either they had the technology to take what they wanted by force if they chose. Kate suspected they were simply reassessing their original plan to quietly harvest genetic material from gifted humans had failed. Now they needed a new approach. Zira's ship appeared over the center, right on schedule. Kate had daily meetings with the Viridian leader, coordinating defense strategies, exchange programs. The transport beam delivered. Kate to the command deck where Zira waited. The Viridian appeared, troubled, her skin patterns swirling rapidly. Kate recognized the signs of stress. What's happened? Kate asked. Zira gestured to a display showing Earth orbit. The Meridian fleet had increased. 5 ships now. 7 more arriving. They grow impatient. Zira explained. They will not wait much longer for what they desire. Kate studied the display. Viridian ships had also increased in number, but were still outnumbered. The human military had weapons, satellite defenses, but nothing that could match alien technology. We need another approach, Kate said. Diplomacy has failed. Military options are limited. Zira turned to Kate, her silver eyes intense. We have been analyzing the abilities demonstrated by human females. They develop differently than ours, more rapidly, more adaptable, and potentially more powerful. Kate was surprised. What do you mean? Human brains have remarkable plasticity, Zira explained. Once the telekinetic pathways activate, they expand, integrate with existing neural networks. The human women are combining telekinesis with creativity, adaptability traits unique to your species. The potential exceeds our predictions. Kate thought of Laura, Maya, Diane. The others, their abilities, growing daily, their techniques evolving. Would it be enough against the Meridian threat? A communication alert sounded. Vex, the Meridian leader, requesting direct contact. Kate nodded to Zira, allowing the connection. The screen activated, showing Vex, his purple skin darker, his golden eyes narrowed. We grow tired of waiting, human. Our patience has limits. Your females with the gift must be studied, their potential harvested for the greater good of both our species. Kate maintained a calm expression. We've made our position clear. The women are not available for your experiments. They are under protection. Vex laughed, a harsh sound. You cannot protect them, not from us. We have claimed worlds far more advanced than yours. Your primitive defenses. Your limited Viridian allies cannot stop us. Behind him, Kate could see preparations activity, Meridians moving with purpose. She suspected they were planning another attack. Larger, more coordinated than before. We will not ask again. Vex continued. Deliver the gifted females to us, or we will take them, and your resistance will determine how gently we do so. The screen went dark. Zira turned to Kate, her expression grim. They prepare for full invasion. We have perhaps one day before they attack. Kate felt cold certainty. They had run out of time. Diplomacy had failed. Now only one option remained. Prepare for war. A war humans could not win. Not with conventional weapons. Kate returned to Earth, gathered the leaders of the exchange program. General Ward, Dr. Chen, Susan Lee, representatives from other centers worldwide. She explained the situation, the threat. The timeline. Laura spoke for the women with abilities. We need to coordinate, combine our strength. Not just here. In all centers. Worldwide. Susan looked uncertain. Can we get everyone working together in time? Different abilities, different levels of development, different training. Kate had an idea. Zira mentioned that human telekinesis was developing uniquely, integrating with our other cognitive functions. What if we used that, created a network? Not just telekinetic abilities, but everything that makes humans unique. Our creativity, adaptability. Dr. Chen nodded, understanding. But how the women are scattered worldwide, communication would be too slow to coordinate such efforts. General Ward stepped forward. The Meridians aren't the only ones who've been preparing, he said. The military had been developing a response system. Global network linking all exchange centers. Instant communication. Protected channels, and the Viridians, Kate added, have technology that can enhance telepathic connections. Zira explained it to me. Neural links allowing telekinetic users to coordinate over distances. It would be experimental, untested. But what choice did they have? The Meridians would attack within hours. A full invasion force. Laura gathered the other women, explaining the plan. They would connect with their counterparts worldwide, using military communications networks enhanced by Viridian technology, creating a unified defense. A human telekinetic shield preparations moved quickly. The Viridians provided the necessary technology, neural amplifiers far safer than the crude device used during the first attack. The military established secure connections. Between exchange centers, governments worldwide declared emergency protocols bringing gifted women to secure facilities. Kate coordinated from the Portland Center, the first to be established, the most advanced. The women prepared, linking with the Viridian technology connecting to others around the world. They could feel each other, Laura explained. Like distant thoughts, getting stronger, clearer as the network expanded. By nightfall, 700 women worldwide were connected, each feeling the other's presence, each adding her strength to the collective, their abilities magnified by unity. Purpose Zero reported from orbit. The Meridian fleet was moving, taking position for synchronized attack, their ships entering Earth's atmosphere. Kate knew the time had come. Laura and the others in Portland took their positions in a circular chamber designed to amplify their abilities, connected to the global network. Each woman a node in a vast web of consciousness and power. The Viridian technology hummed around them, enhancing, stabilizing. The first Meridian ships appeared over major cities. Their weapons powered targeting exchange centers, military installations, government facilities. Now Laura commanded, 700 women focused as one, their minds linked, their abilities unified, their power directed upward against the invasion force. Kate watched from the control room as energy readings spiked off all instruments. The air itself seemed to vibrate with power. Above the Portland Center, a Meridian ship suddenly stopped. Its weapons failed, its engines stalled, caught in an invisible grip. The same happened worldwide. Kate saw on global monitors Meridian ships frozen in place, unable to advance, unable to fire weapons, unable to retreat. Inside, the ship's Meridian crews fought to regain control. Systems failed. Telekinetic attacks disrupted. The combined power of human women, enhanced by Viridian technology, strengthened by military coordination, was unlike anything the Meridians had encountered. Before Vex appeared on communication channels, his golden eyes wide with shock. "What is this? How are you doing?" This Kate answered. Calm, confident. "The women you sought to harvest have united. Their power is now directed at you. Your ships are disabled. Your weapons useless. Your invasion has failed." The Meridian leader snarled, threatened. But Kate could see fear beneath his anger. "You have a choice." Kate continued, "Retreat now. Permanently. Leave Earth space, never return, or we will demonstrate what happens when you threaten a world under human and Viridian protection." For emphasis, Laura and the others increased pressure. The Meridian ships groaned, metal hulls buckling under telekinetic force. A demonstration of what could happen if they chose to fight. Vex hesitated. The choice clear. The humiliation of retreat or the destruction of his fleet, perhaps his own life. "We will withdraw," he said finally.